Well, good evening.
Good evening.
Didn't snow today.
Yes.
Wow. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. We lived hundreds of lifetimes, and we don't know what they are. We don't know what they were. And that's the law. If we did, all we'd be doing is thinking about our past lives. Right?
Right.
About 20 years ago, I saw a movie called Defending Your Life. Did anybody see that movie besides me? Raise your hand. It impacted my life. Nancy and I saw it. Meryl Streep and Albert Brooks. And Albert Brooks' character died in a car accident. Went to heaven. And when he got there, he met Meryl Streep. And they went before a jury, a judge. And they, the judge and jury, determined where they were going to go based on their next step. It was fascinating. Fascinating. Because we don't know when we pass away, when we get to the other side, what's waiting. What's waiting is a life review of your life. Where do you go next? Do you go to another solar system? Or you go back to the school of Earth? Let me assure you, this is not your home. This is a tough school. And you know it, and I know it. And because of that, we are here again. But you might have volunteered to come back. You don't realize that.
Oh, no.
You don't know. Now you came back into a mind age, and therefore the mind is the ultimate aspect of the age of Aquarius. And because of it, we are here to make a difference in the world with our mind. And basically the Aquarian age is here upward. And what we're doing here is to create a new world. A new world. But let's start when you were born in this life. And by the way, before you came in, you knew everything. You know everything about everything. And you said, you know, when I take my first breath this time, I'm going to remember all of it. So there you were, Mom was ready to have birth, and you came down, took the first breath, past was gone. And all you were left with was a beautiful, light pebble, a soul. It was dropped into the water of your being, and it created ripples for this lifetime. And the first one was Mom and Dad. And Mom and Dad, remember, the first impact is called alpha. And when you move into a lifetime, all you have is what? Mom and Dad loving you and adoring you. And remember, most of your thoughts came from your parents. Because you know something? Your parents were your children in another lifetime. Isn't that fun? When I say that, people say, that could be. Well, remember, we always get what we deserve in life. Now, one of the laws of life is forgive Mom and Dad for what they weren't, and thank them for what they were. It's very important. Thank them, and do it tonight. I've done it often. And this family DNA is so much more powerful than you can possibly imagine. You know it, don't you? It is so important. Not that we're exactly like our mom and dad, but we came into life to create the first ripple, which is Mom and Dad. Then we have the other ripples, the rest of the family. Your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles. They're the next, that's the next level of this energy. And then we have our childhood, all your childhood friends. They're mirrors of your school teachers. They're next. Then you have your education, your buddies in school, your school teachers. All of them are mirrors of you. Then your business. By the way, you were just like your bosses, by the way. Aren't you glad to know that? And the lady sitting across the office, that you kind of like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? Now, there's a law here. If you are emotionally attached to anyone in a given lifetime, in a positive or negative way, it is you from another life. And you know, no matter what they do to you, and this is the law of graduation from this earth plane, do not hurt anyone. No matter what they do to you, do not hurt them. That is very important. And that's the greatest, I think one of the greatest lessons Jesus taught us when he's talking about you. Forgive him, Father, he knows not what he does. And they don't. Then we have marriage. You're exactly like your spouse in another lifetime. And no matter how many times you were married, they're just like you. Hi, I'm back, and I was just like you. So recognize again, that is a strong emotion, a strong power. And again, the family bond is so basically so powerful. Then we have our spiritual friends. All of our buddies are here. I have to tell you, I have some great friends this lifetime, so this isn't certainly my issue. And I've also had a wonderful family. But at the same time, we all have those challenges. And to graduate, we've got to follow these laws. And we might know intuitively, or we may not understand them. But then we get to the point of realizing this thing about one finger out and three fingers coming back to us. Well, what are the three attributes to acquire before graduation? First one is humility. Number one. Hamid Bey was the greatest man I've ever met. Greater than Houdini, and the humblest man I've ever met. Oh yeah. He learned it. In Cairo, he was off in the streets, begging. Begging. The masters told him to go out and beg. And his parents went to the master teachers in Egypt and said, what is my son going out begging? To learn humility. Alpha. The alpha energy. Second one is love. Love, giving. Who can I help today? Who can I serve today? Continually loving, not judging, but if so, and of course service. And I know everybody in this room is trying to serve and help people and compliment other people. One of the greatest aspects of it, no matter what's happening, what kind of day you're having, if you have an opportunity to be of service, you are there constantly. Because we are all spiritual beings having a physical experience. How many times have you heard that one? Some of the greatest tools we have is our tongue. When I wrote my book, Revelation for Our Time, I had a whole chapter on the tongue. And the tongue means the Lord. Whatever you say comes back to you, like a mirror, constantly coming back to you. So be careful what you say. We attract what we say. Now, one of the most important parts of life is breathing. And every day, I want you, when you're in meditation, inhale light, exhale love. Inhale light, exhale love. Inhale light, exhale love. You know, Christ, you know what love and light equals? Christ consciousness. If you are creating light and love in your life, you're on your way to Christ consciousness. Now, as we go through life, we come to the time when we go through and we are living in an age. And this age is really based on the pyramid. But the pyramid is more than the pyramid. The pyramid is the Star of David. I almost named this talk The Powers of the Star of David. Because what are you focusing on? Here we have the Star of David, the ascension process, and the descension process. What happens here, happens here. Realize, we're dealing with this lower energy and the higher energy, and they merge together. And as they merge together, we have those powers of reaching this level of consciousness, but always dealing with also the lower at the same time simultaneously, which can be a challenge. And this particular lifetime, because you have made a choice of moving into kind of a universal lifestyle, of maybe looking at Christianity as a wonderful religion, but you wanted something more. You were ready to move into the higher dimensions of consciousness. And one of the most important ones is the fact that we have this energy that comes right across our heart. And we were told that 666 is, what were we told again?
The Antichrist. Mark
Yeah,
of the
the
beast.
Antichrist.
Mark of the beast.
The mark of the beast. You know what it really is? Responsibility of the physical, the mental and emotional, and the spiritual. And that adds up to the mirror energy. It's also the number of family. So don't believe all that negative stuff. Totally untrue. Because 666 is one of the most powerful energies at our cross here. And that energy is so very important to us. Take responsibility. When we say we're going to do something, whether it be diet, meditation, exercise, we do it. And you know the biggest issue of dealing with something when you say you're going to do something and you don't know it, and the only person that knows it is you? Guess what? You knew it. And that's important. The 666 is so dedicated. When I see it in the numerology readings, I see the 6. First of all, it's family, but it's also dedication to finishing it. So when you start in this technique of diet, meditation, exercise, which is absolutely necessary to graduate from this earth plane, we're here to master this physical body and all its desires. And you know the temptations on this earth plane. I think you realize it. They're all over the place. And some of us have partaken. Not me, of course, but but you know now, when you realize and look back on it, it was just an experience. But sometimes, and I'm an addiction counselor, and I do a lot of addiction counseling, and that addiction, to graduate, you have to overcome your addictions, and you know what that is. What do you do when you're celebrating? And what do you do when you're depressed? Now, that's not a 100% rule, but this energy of calm, peace, love, joy, this is ideal. It's great to celebrate. We don't want to get down here, but automatically we move into an energy of acting and reacting. But you know, down in your heart, what you're addicted to. And those have to be resolved. And once you start it, that addiction is with you for the rest of your life, and you can't do it again. That's what we learn. We deal with addiction. So think about what you've been addicted to. And of course, nobody in this room is, by the way. But the other talk I gave, there were several that had the issue.
Right. Right.
This room is just full of people, perfect people. Absolutely. What's happened now is we are in an age of Aquarius. And where we are now is right here. There's a pyramid right here. It's right there. This pyramid is right here. And it's the power of the mind. And you know what you came back to do. You came back to change the world. You came back to become a co-creator. That's what you came to be. Jesus said it to his disciples. I don't know if you knew this or not. Don't you know you're gods? Yeah. But sitting in this room are potential God consciousness people. And that energy to become God conscious is very, very important. Now we have in the back of our dollar bill the all-seeing eye and a pyramid, right? Why did the founding fathers put a pyramid on the back of the dollar bill with the all-seeing eye? Trying to tell us something. You know something? We are a mirror of the pyramid. We're a mirror of the pyramid. Everything that the pyramid represents and symbolizes within us. I've been 29 trips to Egypt and took people up the Nile, teaching people about the chakras, diet, meditation, exercise, self-mastery. And it's all here. But when we reach the pyramid, we have to go through, before we enter into the pyramid, we must go through the test of the Sphinx. Right? Money, sex, and power. I'll repeat it. Nobody's ever disagreed with that. Because all three are positive. They're all wonderful. But there's another side of these three things that we are tested for on this earth plane. That's why they're here. And you have to evaluate how you are doing. They're all three are basically wonderful. But as the S, P, H, and Sphinx, then we go into the Great Pyramid. And we find the all-seeing eye. And the all-seeing eye is the energy of the opening of this energy here. And as we go to the top of the pyramid, at the capstone, that's where we are now. Hamid Bey had an astral projection when he was alive. He mentioned this in a lecture. And he saw above the king's chamber in Egypt the body of Moses and Jesus. This is one of the greatest masters who ever lived. Why did the masters put Moses and Jesus above the king's chamber? Show us where we must go. We must go to the capstone of the Great Pyramid. And then when we go there, we've reached the seventh level of consciousness. 7 chakras at that point. Next, and most people don't know this, but it's the old Egyptian mystery schools. We move up to the top of our head symbolically, and we move into, just picture a big circle, figure 8, coming up here, hitting the top of the head, and going up and around again, coming back. It's infinity. And we're about ready to move into infinity. 6 more chakras. And chakra 8 is that whole energy of dealing with as above, so below. Now this is, when you reach here, and we did, and the Mayan calendar told us what it was. In 12/21 of 2012, we moved into the light of the world. And all the energy, I want you to symbolize yourself standing on top here with your arms up. And above here is the light of the world. The most powerful light you can possibly imagine, and it's yours. The lower 7 chakras is your responsibility. It is all about you and your ability to manifest, your ability to do anything you want with your life. It's all here. It's all your responsibility. No one's going to do your exercises for you. No one's going to meditate for you. No one's going to eat properly. No one's going to master this physical body. But when you reach this level, of the higher level, at that point, you have all power. And you know what you have to say when you're in that field, in that energy? It's about everyone except me. That's what you are here to learn. And then What follows that, when you start doing that, homeless find homes, hungry find food, sick and injured are healed, or at peace or at unity, or sharing or prosperity. Politicians, all nations are your brothers and sisters, all children are your children, and so forth. Every day, every day, every day. You are the light of the world. And guess what? The light of the world appeared in 2013. It's also the life lesson of 2015. Take the 0 out of 2015. It's the light of the world. It is our responsibility to become the light of the world and move into this power of thought and thought projection. On top of it, this year is the beginning of a 9-year cycle. And you knew it before this lifetime. This is 1 year of springtime, 2015. And here we are, we're farmers. Let's see, we're going to plant world peace, world unity, world sharing, world prosperity. We're going to uplift all people. We're going to fulfill world peace. We're going to do everything positive because the last circle is all of humanity. That's what you came to do. You came to your thoughts and your thought projections and your mind and your prayers. Prayer means taking responsibility for Christ consciousness, and every religion prays. And prayer is powerful. And I'm asking you, and I got some sheets right out there. I've got a sheet on the world sun, and it's the letter S, and two famous people had the two S's in their name, Jesus and Moses. They were the world sun. Here is the earth sun. Here is the world sun, the pineal gland. And now you've got the power to change the world. And when you go through your prayers, you can say, this is for everyone on this planet, the inner worlds, the inner universes. This planet, this is about everyone except me. Then ego is completely out of it. You get nothing out of this except fulfilling your destiny and then graduating from the earth plane. Because you are a powerful spiritual being. As I've said it before, it's like having $5 million in the bank and don't even know it's there. And all you have to do is open up the account, and you are the light of the world. Now the world is the mind of the earth. You know where you live when you go on the other side? You live in the world. You live in the mind of the earth. But there comes a time when you have to take the physical body and bring this manifestation of Aquarius into physical manifestation in the physical body. And go through everything everybody else on this earth plane is doing, and then project light and love to them, and it shall be. And this is the year to do it. Every day, every day, every day, every day, when you plant a seed, 9 months later it manifests, or 9 years, or 90 years, just like a baby being born. And when we graduate the airplane, you say, you know, and you know what the Capricorn sign? It's an earth age. The mind age precedes the earth age. And guess what Capricorn is going to be like? A lot better because you did your praying. A lot better because you used the power of the mind and every day prayed. Now, you don't have to call planetary numerologists to get numerology readings on every day. Just realize it's conception, birth, conception, birth, conception, birth. When we go to the other side, this earth is going to be changed. No matter what's happening here, don't give it any energy at all. Just always accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, don't remove the in between. Oh, you're just a total, positive, loving being who is complimenting everybody, who is forgiving everybody, hurting nobody. They're all our brothers and sisters. And that last cycle is what we're here to do. And it's here. Just picture yourself standing on top of the capstone and embracing 6 chakras. Yeah, it's interesting that Arthur was number 13 with his 12 disciples, with 12 knights and 12 ladies. Jesus was number 13 with his 12 female disciples and male disciples. Of course, you all know he had 12 female disciples. Yes. Yeah, kind of a secret, huh? Well, this Coptic organization is full of a bunch of secrets. We don't want to hurt the Christian religion, but we're totally positive. We love all religions and all nations and all peoples, because we lived in all those countries. We lived in all those countries. We lived hundreds of lifetimes, but then we came to the United States of America. Yes, you are a powerful, powerful being. I want to leave you with something that kind of wraps up my talk. By the way, there's forums out there for accepting our responsibility as a world son and the daily prayers. Every day, every day, every day. It's a seed that's going to create all that manifestation, because you're the powerhouse. And what you're doing is saying, exception for everyone except me. Birds, the animals, the fish, all creation. Oh God, I love animals. Yes. So I end with this. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God bless you, you powerful spiritual beings. You're going to graduate from this earth plane, then have a choice of coming back if you want to. And maybe it'll be the Capricorn age, and see the physical manifestation of what you prayed about here. Oh my gosh, well, my prayers would never, wow. Wow. You're a wow. God bless. It's an honor to see you tonight. God bless.